with Prairie Lakes Healthcare System at Mallard Point in Watertown, South Dakota, and we're the guests of Dr. Mancell, ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist. Doctor, thanks for hosting us.
Thank you for having me.
So, doctor, let's get right to the point. When a child has reoccurring earaches, it's pain for the child and it's heartache for the parents. At which point do we call on you as a specialist?
So I'd like to start off by saying our family practice providers, mid-levels, and pediatricians are fully capable of seeing and treating ear infections, and I know them, they do a great job. I see my role emerge when a child continues to have recurrent issues or they're being treated with the appropriate therapies and just not ever fully clearing it or getting better.
And on that same subject of ears, doctor, when do you generally start thinking about putting in tubes?
So generally speaking, the American Academy of Otolaryngology recommends 3 ear infections in a 6-month period of time, 4 infections in a 12-month period of time. Non-infected fluid called effusion that may persist for 2 to 3 months. That's when we definitely want to start thinking about tubes. That's when I definitely need to see these kids. There's some exceptions to the rules, and the primary care providers know about those. If the infections seem to be affecting their hearing and speech development, obviously we don't wait as long.
So I've learned from you in our previous conversations how your face is made up on the inside. So many people have problems with sinuses. What is that called and what can you do about it?
So sinusitis is a very common entity worldwide and in the United States. It's one of the leading causes of people missing work and short-term disability, and those cost burdens are, depending on what you read, somewhere between 3 and 12 billion with a B. That's what it costs when people experience these issues. So the sinuses are air-filled spaces in the bones of the face and the skull. They're lined with the same lining as the inside of the nose, and so you can imagine anything that causes congestion of the inside of the nose can cause congestion of the sinuses, and they oftentimes have tiny little doorways leading into them, and if they're congested, those doorways aren't open, the sinuses cannot ventilate or drain, and that's when infections and inflammation occur. So again, this is an area that our primary care providers see on a regular basis and are fully capable of treating. I see my role when they're on the appropriate therapies and just not feeling better, or it just keeps coming back.
Dr. Mancell, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'd just like to make sure that people know that if they're experiencing issues with their ear, nose, or throat, to let us know, and we'd be happy to see them. We have a very talented group of people out here working. We're very proud of our staff, and we take great pride. We'd love to see them. The best way to get a hold of us is 605-882-7740.
Do we need a referral, doctor?
Actually, no, you don't need a referral. Prairie Lakes does not require any referrals to be seen by any of our specialists.
Doctor, thanks for hosting us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for being here.